Hello everyone, I'm back to do some reading. These are going to be my summaries for today. The Most High picked some hard ones for me. He wouldn't even let me study. So we finna just go ahead and read 2 Kings chapter 23, and it was in the Old Testament. So the 2 Kings is Mob James and Nino Brown. Okay, so let's begin. The king sent and they gathered to him all the elders of Judah and of Jerusalem. The king went up to the Lord's house, and all the men of Judah and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with him, with the priests, the prophets, and all the people, both small and great. And he read in their hearing all the words of the book of the covenant which were found in the Lord's house. So it's really about Nino Brown's story this time right here. You want to read my James story, just read 1 Kings, okay? The king stood by the pillar and made a covenant before the Lord, to walk after the Lord and to keep his commandments, his testimonies, and his statutes, with all his heart and all his soul, to confirm the words of the covenant that was written in this book. And all the people agreed to the covenant. Yes, Nino Brown is following behind his father, Mob James' footsteps. Okay? The king commanded Hilkiah, the high priest, and the priests of the second order, okay, Shemi's Kinakru, and the keepers of the threshold, to bring out of the Lord's temple all the vessels that was made for Baal, for the Asherah, and for all the army of the sky. And he burned them outside of Jerusalem in the fields of the Kidron, and carried their ashes to Bethel. He got rid of the idolatrous priests whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places in the city of Judah, and the places around Jerusalem. Those also who burn incense to Baal, to the sun, and to the moon, and to the planets, and to all the army of the skies. Okay, dark magic, or whatever the case may be. I feel like it's dark magic. He brought out the Asherah from the Lord's house outside of Jerusalem to the brook Kidron, and burned it at the brook Kidron, and beat it to dust, and cast it dust on the graves of the common people. He broke down the houses of the male shrine prostitutes that was in the Lord's house, where the woman wove hanging for the Asherahs. He brought all the priests out of the cities of Judah, and defiled the high places where the priests had burned incense, from Jeba to Beersheba. And he broke down the high places at the gate that was at the entrance of the gate of Joshua, the governor of the city, which was on a man's left hand at the gates of the city. Nevertheless, the priests of the high places didn't come up to the Lord's altar in Jerusalem, but they ate unleavened bread among their brothers. He defied Topheth, which is the valley of the children of Hinnom, that no man might make his son or his daughter to pass through the fire to Moloch, the devil. He took away the horses that the kings of Judah have given to the sun, okay, they hair, they scalps, okay, at the entrance of the Lord's house by the room of Nathan, Melech the officer, who was in the court, and he burned the chariots of the sun with fire. The king broke down the altars that was on the roof of the upper room of Ahaz, which the kings of Judah had made, and the altars which Manasseh had made in the 2 courts of the Lord's house. Remember, the old projects used to be called Stevenson Courts and Bowie Courts. Okay, now it's the Oaks and Rose Hill. 2 courts of the Lord's house, and beat them down from there, and cast their dust into the brook Kidron. The king defiled the high places that were before Jerusalem, which was on the right hand of the mountain of corruption, which Solomon, the king of Israel, had built for Ashtaroth, the abomination of the Sidonians, and for Shemash, the abomination of Moab, and for the Milcom, the abomination of the children of Ammon. He broke in pieces the pillars, cut down the Asherah poles, and filled their places with men's bones. Okay? You can get that for Mob James with them little boy penises. Moreover, the altar that was at Bethel and the high place which Jebon the son of Nebath, who made Israel to sin, had made, even that altar in the high place he broke down. And he burned the high place and beat it to dust and burned the Asherah. As Josiah turned himself, he spied the tombs that were there in the mountain. And he sent and took the bones out of the tombs and burnt them on the altar and defiled it, according to the Lord's word, with the men of God who proclaimed the things. I told you, remember I told you that bald-headed girl. She took some of my first daughter blood and my second daughter blood and mixed it up together to do some kind of ritual. That's what they're talking about right there. Then he said, "What monument is that which I see?" The men of the city told him, "It is the tomb of the man of God who came from Judah and proclaimed the things that you have done against the altar of Bethel." He said, "Let him be. Let no one move his bones." So they let his bones alone, with the bones of the prophet who came out of Samaria. All of the houses, also of the high places that was in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel had made to provoke the Lord to anger, Josiah took away and did to them according to all the acts that he had done in Bethel. He killed all the priests of the high places that were there on the altars and burned men and bones on them, and he returned to Jerusalem. The king commanded all the people, saying, "Keep the Passover to the Lord your God, as it is written in this book of the covenant." Surely there was not kept such a Passover from the days of the judges who judged Israel, nor in all the days of the kings of Israel, nor of the kings of Judah. But in the 18th year of King Josiah, 2018, this Passover was kept to the Lord in Jerusalem. Okay, see, I still got my sheet. Moreover, Josiah removed those who have familiar spirits, the wizards and the teraphim and the idols and all the abominations that were seen in the land of Judah and in Jerusalem, that he might confirm the words of the law, which was written in the book that Hilkiah the priest found in the Lord's house. Now, when I got on that is, like I said, Nino Brown was finna take over Mob James and Gina Hall Empire. Because I guess they were supposed to die like a natural death or something like that. They were not supposed to be assassinated or murdered like that. They were supposed to die like of a natural death, like in their sleep or some shit. And then no Brown take over type shit. That's what I'm getting for that. There was no king like him before him. He turned to the Lord with all his heart and with all his soul and with all his might, according to all the Torah of Moses. And there were none like him who arose after him. Notwithstanding, the Lord didn't turn from the fierceness of his great wrath, with which his anger burned against Judah, because of all the provocation with which Masnada have provoked him. The Lord said, "I will also remove Judah out of my sight, as I have removed Israel, me. And I will cast off this city which I have chosen," Texarkana, Texas, "even Jerusalem, and the house of which I said, my name shall be there." Rose Hill. Okay. Yep, so whatever. Now the rest of the acts of Josiah and all that he did, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicle of the king of Judah? And in his days, Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, went up against the king. Remember at that celebration? In November, of Assyria to the river Euphrates, and King Josiah went against him, and Pharaoh Necho killed him at Megiddo when he had seen him. His servants carried him in a chariot dead from Megiddo, and brought him to Jerusalem, and buried him in his own tomb. Who? Brown and them with Michael. The people of the land took Jehoahaz, the son of Josiah, and anointed him, and made him king in his father's place. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hemuta, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. He did that which was evil in the Lord's sight, according to all that his fathers have done. Pharaoh Necho put him in bonds at Riblah in the land of Hamath, that he might not reign in Jerusalem, and put the land to a tribute of 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold. Pharaoh Necho made Ichabod the son of Josiah king in the place of Josiah his father, and changed his name to Jehoiakim. But he took Jehoahaz away, and he came to Egypt and died there. Jehoiakim gave the silver and the gold to Pharaoh, but he taxed the land to give the money according to the commandments of the Pharaoh. He exacted the silver and the gold of the people of the land from everyone according to his assessments, to give it to Pharaoh Necho. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jebediah, the daughter of Pedaiah of Rumah. He did that which was evil in the Lord's sight, according to all that his fathers have done. Yes, Miles James and the rest of his court family. Okay. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this chapter of 2 Kings, chapter 23. Y'all can watch it. Y'all can listen to it your own. Okay, y'all can read it your own. Okay, I'm out. Peace.